MMAT, you're going to love this one here. Okay, let's just take a look at this real quick. This is a video I posted 12 days ago. And for the regular viewers, for the regular listeners, this is why I constantly say that we have to trust the data. Okay, so I unfortunately fell deep into not trusting my data. In fact, in the last two videos that I printed for MMAT, I actually avoided showing you my statistical analysis that I had performed before those two videos, and this is what was said. Pay close attention. A total of 23 iterations, of which 12 were guessed correctly to the downside. Okay, so that gives us an average downside accuracy of 47.82% with an average downside pressure of about minus 39.28% over the span of just under 15 and a half days. Over the span of just under 15 and a half days, minus 39.28% 12 days ago. Okay, let's go back into that chart. Let's look at what it looks like in comparison to this metric here of minus 39. And here we are. This is the price action where it landed, and we have thus far not fulfilled all the way to what this area is. So this may in fact fulfill an exact 39% over the span of 15 days. Okay, so this is incredibly important because there's no way I was able to call. I was able to even know whatever drama happened with MMTLP. Okay, so I can't. The data says what it says. You know what I mean? And sometimes people ask me, were you able, like, I actually called a few downsides for AMC and for GME, and I was asked, like, did you know that it was going to go down exactly to that level because you did the back test? And actually, are you in cahoots with shorts? Are you in cahoots with any of the market makers? No. I'm very much a normal dude who just found mathematics to be a great application for trading. So a lot of people, it's funny because a lot of people are speculating whatever happened into the, with the FINRA, with the whole modifying of the documentation. A lot of people speculate for that to be foul play. And honestly, it could have been since I was actually measuring everything. I mean, look at this. Look at this here. So this is a plus 58.47% move to the upside that I caught from this area here. Okay, so in that it actually fulfilled it to the closure of the candle. Okay, and that is actually a back test that I did towards the upside right here. So this is from daily BBWP contraction from 95%, meaning that anytime that we have that volatility has reached the 90 to 95%, we've capitulated. Okay, so I did run that test. It went up, and I ran the test for both sides, and that's what happened. We skipped the entire intro and all that whole stuff. What is up, you guys? This is ARCa coming at you with an MMAT technicals raw price action, and I guess we just did the statistical side of the analysis. But please, before we actually begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa. With that said, let's dive right in. So yeah, guys, that's what I'm looking at thus far. So I mean, this is crazy. This is a reminder because I usually I usually succeed to trust my data, and no matter what, the sentiment was just so massive for MMAT that it actually blindsided me. And this is just another reminder, this is another reminder not to fall for sentiment and just make sure to follow the data. And this is why I test it, and this is why I spend all this time back testing all these iterations by hand, okay, so that we can be able to gain that edge. So this back test consists of a volatility versus momentum profile, and what this study is doing is a statistical mean of behavior versus price action versus relative levels versus iterations guessed correctly to the upside versus the downside. It's complex, but if there are any experienced traders that know of systematic measures within the listeners or the viewers, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know that this is a similar system to what I mean in a very minute way, a similar system to how high frequency algos or high frequency HFT systems run, high frequency trading systems. So this is pretty much it, So, man. Again, I really hate what happened here, and it's so terrible. I can't imagine what people are feeling holding MMAT and MMTLP. I really do feel for you. This sucks, So maybe next time we can continue to be sharper together, including me, So again, I apologize for not catching this. I mean, I did 12 days ago, but my last 2 videos were just so bullish. And like I said, they blindsided me, and I apologize for that. But next time, and I will forever remember, as I continuously get reminded the worst way possible to just trust the data and just run on what the algos are doing in institutions, institutional trading and stuff. So this is. Yeah, it's terrible. We found support at the 200-day simple moving average on the 4-hour chart for a bounce, but this can likely be a dead cat. Okay, so dead cat bounces usually happen after a capitulatory event to where it finds a bounce and then it starts making this type of motion. Okay, so when that happens, the price action will likely continue to the downside. In this, we would actually have to fail the 200-day moving average, fulfilling the 39% downside statistical metric, finding a bounce to come up and test the newly converted support into now resistance of the 200-day simple moving average, and continuing on to the downside. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at for MMAT thus far. Now let's go ahead and open up the RSI properties here so that we can take a look at. These were the 4 drives of bearish divergence that we actually caught just before the capitulation event, where I told everybody that MMAT was set to fall, and this was actually the very last video that I released for MMAT. I did warn about the capitulation coming down, and it's interesting because my data was showing that we're in an ascending channel, which is usually a bearish formation all on its own. And we got the 3 tests followed by a fake out and then the capitulation. Usually the 3rd test is the test that fails these ascending formations. It was all bad. And I was stupid enough to catch it at the last minute, and I had to form a sell strategy or an exit strategy for the members in the Discord and stuff. But please remember, guys, even remind me, I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. No one knows where the price is going to go, but we can look at the nuances to see the potentials. Once we start to think in probabilities, we will succeed the markets. Okay. So we have to apply our mathematics into this. It is not as easy as just going in. Okay, I support every strategy. As long as you master your strategy, then by all means, let's get it. You know what I mean? But in this case, there were several signals that I was already pointing out 12 days ago, and I ignored them, being blindsided by the bullish sentiment. Can't do that ever again. We will not do that. If you catch me doing that, remind me, ARCa, you're being too bullish. ARCa, remember your data. ARCa, remember we tested this, we did that. The plan, the play is still in play. Okay, so the importance of that is immense. Please, now the RSI properties are the ones that I would like you to focus on here. Which, oh man, this is me uploading FMGR. I was about to exit that. Let me move into my other screen here. So these are the properties for the RSI that I would like for you to focus on. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 zones that are located right over here in the RSI. Let's open up a multi-pane and just verify or validate our continuation to the downside starting from the immediate short-term time frame. Let's open up the 30-minute immediate short-term and see what we have in store for the MMAT holders, which I feel so bad for, man. This is terrible, guys. Okay, so Immediate short-term time frame is suggesting a continuation to the downside almost immediately. So it's starting from the early pre-market. So this is we're sitting well within the grips of the bear strength percentile, and the moving average is it might actually be crossed, and then we would then make a bearish cross. So the moving average represented by this pink line, the RSI signal is the purple line. So if we do cross that moving average, downside continuation is likely in the immediate short term. Buy hourly RSI is absolutely in the grips and at the junction between oversold percentile and the bear strength percentile. Moving average giving us a signal that continuation to the downside is likely. Now let's look at the 6-hour time frame. 6-hour time frame is very much well within the grips of the bear strength percentile, still suggesting some downside. Moving average also suggesting downside, entering now the bear weakness percentile. And this is the 12-hour time frame, which we already saw. So let's go ahead and dive into the daily chart or the daily RSI and take a look. So daily RSI is just on a massive pivot to the downside, validating and confirming and in accordance with everything I am telling you regarding the data that we did for a back test. There is more than likely a continuation to the downside, thus fulfilling the full 39% move to the downside. I expect a target of $1.17 within Monday or the beginning of Tuesday. So please practice risk management with this. Avoid any losses. This is a great area right now. We also never know what if FINRA again just changes the damn paperwork and then here we go to the upside. Like that's really not cool. Okay, so we have to be super careful with overnight holds within these speculative plays. Okay, so please know that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as a form of entertainment only. Okay, please do your own DD and we'll be okay, you guys. Please discuss with me. Reach out to me. I'll make sure to leave the links in the description below for you to consider joining the ARCa trading community. It's getting harder and harder for me to reply to everyone as this crazy newfound popularity is just happening out of literally nowhere. So I'll try to reply as best as I can, but I mean, I can say that this could potentially be a good place for you to just start minimizing risk, because I do see downside continuation here, and the momentum oscillator is now making a bearish cross. And it's suggesting a continuation to the downside. The pivots are likely to move to the downside. But with that said, I wish you well. Not such a great video, this one, you guys. I am terribly sorry, and I apologize for not being as consistent as I could have been. There's no way I could have called foul play, but the data was telling us something, and it was telling us something for a reason. Okay, so yeah, you guys. So again, I wish you well. I wish you a great rest of your weekend, and I will catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios.